He sat on the cold pavement every morning before the city truly woke up, holding a cardboard sign that shook slightly in his hands. The words were written in thick black marker, uneven and simple. "I'm blind. Please help me." His eyes were open, but they stared into nothing, like two quiet windows that had forgotten what the world looked like. People passed him every day, hundreds of them. Shoes clicked. Phones rang. Laughter echoed. Coins dropped sometimes, mostly by accident. Most people didn't stop. Some didn't even look down. To them, he was just another part of the street, like a broken lamp or a faded poster. But he remembered when colors had names. He remembered blue skies, his mother's red scarf, the warm yellow light that used to fall through his bedroom window. He remembered because blindness doesn't erase memories, it makes them louder. He hadn't always been like this. Once he had dreams that needed sight. Once he had a job, a voice, a future. Then one accident, one careless moment, turned his world into sound, smell and touch. Doctors said it was permanent. Friends slowly disappeared. His fiancée cried at first, then stopped answering calls. The city moved on. He didn't. Every morning, he folded his cane, sat in the same place, and waited for kindness. Some days, a child would ask their parent why the man couldn't see. The parent would pull the child away. Some days, someone would whisper, "Get a job." He wanted to scream that he once had one, that he once helped others, that he once saw. But pride has no place on the street. Hunger is louder. So he sat quietly, thanking anyone who dropped even a single coin. One afternoon, the sounds changed. The footsteps slowed. Someone stopped in front of him. Not rushed, not nervous, just still. "Excuse me?" a woman's voice said softly. He turned his face toward the sound. "Yes," he replied. "May I read your sign?" she asked. Confused, he nodded. She crouched, her perfume faint but warm. After a moment of silence, she asked, "Can I change it?" He hesitated. That sign was his last dignity. But something in her voice felt honest. "If you want," he said. She gently took the cardboard, flipped it, and wrote something new. She placed it back in his hands. "What did you write?" he asked. She smiled sadly. "Nothing untrue," she said, then walked away. He sat there again. Same place, same body, same blindness. But something changed. People stopped. Not one or two, many. Coins fell faster. Someone knelt and squeezed his hand. Another person said, "I'm so sorry." A man whispered, "God bless you." He didn't understand. Nothing about him had changed. Until someone read the sign out loud as they passed. "It's a beautiful day." "And I can't see it." His chest tightened. Tears slipped out without permission. It wasn't begging anymore. It was truth. That day, he didn't just receive money. He received something heavier, acknowledgement. For the first time in years, people didn't see a beggar. They saw a human being who lost something precious. As the sun went down, he held the sign close, like it was fragile. He wondered how many people walked past pain simply because it was badly worded. And somewhere deep inside, a thought whispered, "What if this isn't the end of my story?" Soft pause. Slow breath. And if you're listening right now, remember, sometimes the smallest change in perspective can change someone's entire life. If stories like this touch your heart, stay with us. Subscribe, because some stories deserve to be heard slowly. The next morning, he returned to the same spot, but the world felt different now. The air carried hope instead of routine. He held the sign with care, as if it was speaking for him when he could not. People stopped again, more than before. A woman brought him coffee. A student sat beside him just to talk. Someone asked his name. That question alone felt like a miracle. He hadn't said his name out loud in months. Days passed, and something strange happened. The woman who changed his sign returned. This time she sat next to him. "How was yesterday?" she asked. He smiled for the first time in a long while. "I felt seen," he said. She stayed quiet for a moment. Then she told him why she helped. Years ago, her father had gone blind too. Not from an accident, but from neglect. People assumed he was useless. He believed them. He died believing he no longer mattered. "I couldn't save him," she whispered. "But maybe I can save you." She helped him contact a local center for the visually impaired. She helped him apply for training. It wasn't fast. It wasn't easy. But it was movement. Weeks later, his sign was gone. Not because the world became kinder overnight, but because someone finally stopped long enough to understand. Months passed. He learned to navigate with confidence, learned to use technology that spoke when screens couldn't, learned that blindness wasn't the end. It was a different beginning. One evening, he returned to the street, not to beg, but to sit. He listened to the city again, the same footsteps, the same sounds. But now they didn't feel like rejection. They felt like life. A child stopped and asked, "Mister, why are you smiling?" He answered, "Because once I thought no one could see me." The child frowned. "But I see you." His throat tightened. Sometimes miracles come in the smallest voices. Before leaving, he taped a new sign to the wall where he once sat. It read, "Thank you for seeing me when I couldn't." People stopped. Some cried, some smiled. And if you're hearing this story right now, remember, kindness doesn't need eyes. It needs attention. Somewhere, someone is silently holding a sign, hoping to be understood. Be the one who stops. And if stories like this remind you of your humanity, subscribe to this channel. Because these aren't just stories. They're whispers meant to wake hearts.